Hello, good afternoon. This is David Soto talking to you, and today is my weekly trade predictions for the upcoming trading week of March 8th through March 12th, 2021. Okay, and what I will do here is I will look at all the major Forex currency pairs on the 30-minute time frame, and then I will compare that to higher time frames such as the 4-hour, daily, and weekly charts, and then I will try to give you my analysis of what I think is going to happen this coming week. Okay, so to begin with, I just want to say that the US dollar is definitely going to an uptrend, and now is definitely time to be thinking about buying if you have not already. All right, and conversely, the opposite, the euro, the Great British pound, and the Australian dollar, those are already starting to drop. So now's a good time to sell those pairs as well. So start with, we look at here at EURUSD, which I have pulled up on our chart right now. And we see that it's definitely dropping. Okay, it was running sideways for a while, and then around the middle of the week it just dropped off quite a bit. Okay, and we get the crosshairs. I go from this high point down to this low point. We're looking at over a 2,000 point drop, okay, in just a matter of like 2 or 3 days. So from Wednesday to Friday, it had a big drop, and that's kind of what I was predicting, and that is basically what I felt was going to happen this week. This past week. So now conversely, the US dollar has been going up as well, and I will show you that here in a minute. But now the EURUSD, you see this, it hit this low point, okay, on Friday, and then Friday afternoon the market is pretty much dead, so there's very little movement. But the question right now, is it going to go back up, or is it going to continue to drop? All right, we know on a 30-minute time frame this could repaint and it could go more further down. I personally think we're going to see it go back up in the beginning of the week, and then around the middle of the week we'll see it drop even more. Okay, now if we look at the higher time frames such as the 4-hour, right, we have a strong signal to buy, okay, as you can see right here. So that is a very good indication that yes, this will be going back up. But if you look at the daily chart, okay, daily chart as a red arrow signal to sell, right? So it's gonna be a long time before you see another signal to buy. It's gonna go back down to this area somewhere, maybe even lower, I don't know. But the thing right now is this week we'll probably see it escalate back up and then back down again. You see right here the price, well, the price has been going down, up, and then here it dropped back down, went back up, and came down again. So we're going to see the same thing happen again. It's going to go back up a ways and then come back down. I do not expect this to go have a huge gain this week. Okay, we're definitely going into a downtrend. If I mark, look at this right here. If I mark this level of support, all right, it was kind of a resistance in the past. I already broke that level of support right here. So that is a strong indication that this definitely will be dropping. So it might go back up, you know, break that resistance now. This was a support before, now it's a resistance, but it probably go back up above this level and then drop again. Okay, that is what I'm thinking will happen this week, and I'm pretty sure. If we look at the weekly chart, again, we see pretty much the same thing on the weekly chart, and we know that long term this definitely will be dropping. Okay, it's just going to take some time. All right, but now is the time to be thinking about selling. So for this week, what would I recommend for this week is keep your charts on a 30-minute time frame. Okay, keep your charts on a 30-minute time frame and look for sell opportunities only. All right, that would be your best bet. All right, I would not buy right now because it is definitely going down. All right, moving on to GBPUSD. Kind of see the similar format, similar thing happen here, where you know the price was moving sideways and then it dropped off towards the end of the week. Okay, around the middle of the week, you know, it did start to decline, but it bounced back up. Now the Great British pound has been very strong compared to the US dollar or compared to the euro, and it's definitely not going to go down without a fight. Right now, the Great British pound and the US dollar are pretty much fighting neck and neck. Okay, so clearly we have some good buy and sell opportunities both. But if we look at the 4-hour chart, look at this. It's a little bit different, right? We have a signal to sell, but no signal to buy. So this means it's definitely going to a downtrend, if we look at the daily chart, again, we see that this is definitely working itself down. Okay, it's going to be a long time. If we zoom out a bit, we see it's been going up for so long. Okay, we had a red arrow followed by another red arrow, which very, very, very rarely would you ever see a third red arrow in a row. Okay, so if you have two arrows of the same color, what's going to happen is the next arrow will be opposite color, which in this case the next arrow should be a blue arrow. Okay, so it's going to have a big drop before that happens. Okay, in order for this to drop, however, US dollar needs to have a big, a big gain uphill. So the US dollar is already starting to go up, which is going to force this down. Okay, so now is definitely the time to sell. So for this week, I would again keep my charts on a 30-minute time frame and look for sell opportunities only. Okay, moving on to Australian dollar versus the US dollar. Okay, again, we see almost the same format where the price was hovering around this range, and then around the middle of the week it just dropped off. Okay, so that's all these pairs pretty much follow the same format, and like I said, it's probably going to go back up some more at the beginning of the week. But then if we look at the 4-hour chart, okay, we have a strong signal to buy, and it's already going up. So how high will it go up? Well, we have a resistance right here, and this is probably what will happen. Now again, the Australian dollar here has been very strong and for so long. Okay, and it's not going to go down without a fight, but it's definitely going to a downtrend. So I would predict it's probably go up to this area here before it forms a red arrow. Okay, if we look at the daily chart, you can get a better idea of what I'm saying. Okay, we have a resistance here, right here. So we're looking for the price to go up, touch this line, and drop back down. It won't form another red arrow there, but not on the daily chart. If you look in the weekly chart, we definitely see a strong signal to sell. This indicator is not repainted, so it's already at a high point. Now it's dropping, and it's going to continue to drop, for in the coming weeks, probably the coming months. It's going to take a long time for this to drop, because it's not going to be a huge drop. It's going to be a quick process, if you will, because Australian dollar is a very strong currency, and it's not going to go down without a fight. But we also see this, if you follow this green line across here, we see it hit some strong levels of resistance before and dropped. Okay, now here it went a little bit higher, but still this area is a very strong level of resistance. So I feel very strongly that this will continue to drop. Okay, so again, for this week, I would keep your charts on a 30-minute time frame and look for sell opportunities only. And then once you place a trade, you can close it when you get the next blue arrow. Okay, I hope that makes sense. Okay, so that covers that. Let's look at US dollar versus Swiss franc. Okay, now if these pairs are dropping, the first three I showed you, the US dollar should be going up. Okay, now if we look at the US dollar, we see that yes, we had a nice steady gain all week, so that's good. That's a good sign that US dollar is recovering and is going to an uptrend. Also, this last Friday was the non-farm payroll, okay, where the US government issues all of its employment data. Okay, this is the biggest factor every month that determine the health of the US dollar. Okay, how it's ranged in the markets. So if it has a good job report, which it did, then you will see the US dollar gain. Not always, but that's typically what will happen. Now we see here on Friday, this is when the non-farm payroll kicked off. Okay, and the price spiked up and down. We don't see a huge movement right here, but this is kind of normal. We had about a 300 or 400 point movement, so that's pretty good for a Friday. And then you see Friday afternoon, the market was dead right here. Okay, very, very little movement, and that's normal on a Friday afternoon. But we did see this surge up, so that's because the job report was good, and then just fizzled out. What I think will happen this coming week. We'll probably see it drop back down a ways and then spike back up again. All right. If you look at the 4-hour chart, okay, we have a signal to sell. Okay, so we've had a big gain, all right, for the last 2 weeks, and now we are hitting some resistance. But like I said, we had a good job report with non-farm payroll, so we are not going to see a huge drop. I think in the beginning of the week we'll see the price drop back down and then shoot back up again. Long term, over the next couple weeks, we probably will see this drop further. Okay, I don't know, but I think we're going to be seeing a good solid uptrend here in the coming weeks. All right, look at the daily chart. Now we get a strong signal to sell. Okay, so that is a good indicator that yes, this will be dropping, but it is not going to be a huge drop. Okay, and where will the next blue arrow form? Not here, probably maybe here, about, could be a little lower, but what I think is going to happen is we're going to see a lot of range of market now for the next week or two, and in the coming weeks we will see a bigger drop. But this is on a daily chart, so it might take a week or two for this to form another blue arrow. And based on my experience, what I've seen in the past, this will probably drop here, go back up, drop again, that time form a blue arrow, and then go up more. All right, like it could go lower, like this area right here. Okay, we have a resistance here, so it's very possible it could drop that far, but I don't see that really happening. If we look at the weekly chart, look at that. Wow, that's a thing of beauty, because we see this huge gain. All right, so if we see we see this level of resistance right here, and that has already been broken. Okay, so meaning that this is definitely going into an uptrend. Okay, so we want to be thinking about buying the US dollar. Okay, and you know, this coming week we're going to see it drop back down a ways and then go back up again. Will it drop all the way to this green line? That's debatable. Okay, I don't think so. We'll see a small drop. It probably, and I say probably, I don't know, because I think it will drop down somewhere in here and then shoot back up. And then maybe by the end of the week it'll drop back down to here. Okay, and then in the following week we'll see it go back up more. Okay, that is one scenario. Okay, the other scenario could be it just drops down at the beginning of the week, drops back down, and then the second half of the week drops back up again. Okay, that's a very likely scenario. How far will it drop? I don't know, but I don't think it'll drop very far. But considering that the long-term trend is bullish, meaning the price will go up, I think we need to be focused on buying. So for this week, I would put your charts on a 30-minute time frame and look for buy opportunities only. Okay, that's going to save you a lot of headache. Okay, like right now it's definitely going to drop, and you probably could sell. But what if you place a sell trade right now and it dropped up, it shot up even more? Okay, you're gonna be crying. All right, so better to focus on the bigger trend, which is the buy. So keep your charts on a 30-minute time frame and buy only. Moving on to US dollar versus Japanese yen. Again, we see almost the exact same thing. We have a nice steady uptrend, and it's kind of strange here. Like on Friday with non-farm payroll, it actually shot down a bit and then it kind of came back up. So now US dollar Japanese yen has a different reaction, okay, than other USD pairs, but it's still a good time to buy. If we look at the 4-hour chart, okay, we have a strong signal to sell, but we're not going to see a huge drop. Okay, there's no way. Okay, we had this big massive gain here on the 4-hour chart, so it's going to drop back down a ways, probably like right here. Okay, that is what I am guessing. This is a resistance and broke and formed a support. All right, So it probably would drop this far, and that probably will not happen this week. Okay, it probably happen the next week. You're going to see this like up and down overall, and it slowly drop. If you look at the daily chart, we have a strong signal to sell. Okay, again, we're not going to see a huge drop. We're not going to see it drop all the way back down to here. There's no way. This would be the most likely place for it to drop, because we see a lot of resistance and support levels in the past. Look at this support right here, support here, support here, resistance here. So this is a very, very good point where it could drop and bounce back up. The other place could be, let me hold on, drag this down right here at this level of resistance. Okay, but that's unlikely. Okay, I don't know. I don't think it's going to drop that far down. That's a big drop. So look at the weekly chart. We have a signal to buy. Look at it. We had 3 arrows in a row blue. That's amazing. So we're definitely going to be seeing another red arrow here soon. Okay, so what I think is we'll see a small drop and then a big spike back up. Okay, this it's going to take some time, but like I said, right now looks like a good time to sell, but I would not sell. Okay, although you probably could. What I would do is keep your charts on a 30-minute time frame and look for buy opportunities only, because the long-term trend is bullish. All the USD pairs are going up long term. Moving on to US dollar versus Canadian dollar. Okay, this one is unique because both the Canadian dollar and US dollar are very strong currencies. Okay, and they're both in North America, so they always go neck to neck. Okay, they always fight with each other. So you get a lot of range of markets. Now I know last week I had predicted there would be mostly range of markets, and you could both buy and sell the US dollar, Canadian dollar, and I was pretty much right about that. Okay, so this week what will happen? Let's see. The 4-hour chart says to buy, daily chart says to buy, and the weekly chart as well. Okay, so we know long term is definitely going to be going up. It's going to be a very slow process. Okay, we're probably, this week we'll probably see more of a range of market. Look here in the hourly chart. So we had not a very big gain and drop back down. So we're going to see it drop a little more and then go back up again. So for this week, what I think we can do, okay, and like I said, this pair is unique, so you can keep your charts on a 30-minute time frame and look for both buy and sell opportunities. Now right now it looks like a good time to sell, but I would wait until at least the New York session on Monday to see what happens. Okay, that way, if you were to sell right now and it shoots up more, you have a huge drawdown. Okay, and probably the best thing to do is wait until you have a buy signal and then place your trade and then close it on the next red arrow. And then when you get the next red arrow, you can buy again. I mean, you can sell and then buy. You just keep reversing that process. Okay, so anyhow, that concludes my weekly trade predictions. If you have any questions about these predictions, or if you need me to analyze another currency pair, please feel free to reach out to me on Facebook. I'll put a link below in the description of this video for my personal Facebook. Okay, you can contact me there. Also, I put a link for my private Facebook group, and you can request to join my Facebook group and post any questions or comments in my Facebook group. Okay, so with that said, I hope you have a wonderful week ahead. Please let me know how I can help you. Thank you so much.